On this episode of GoodEnough Motorsport, I tackle an issue that's been tearing me apart. As you can see, this front engine mount is clearly torn quite badly. It's quite forked. So this is the one that I threw in after Senor Stefan noticed that the previous one was torn in a very similar way, though not quite as bad. This part of the engine mount is quite forked. So
properly fucked.
Nevertheless, this is the second one in a year, so this is just not going to do. So I had a solution to remedy all this. Well, I decided to seek out some help because I'm not familiar with the operation that I intend to undertake. So I contacted my friend Kurt Diddy.
Yes, sir.
And what we're gonna do today, the fix, is gonna be to pour urethane mix into the mounts and make custom inserts. This is quite an involved process and I have no experience in it. And you've told me you've had experience with similar composites,
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah, I used to work in epoxy resin, so resin casting, I kind of know where I'm going with that. Mixing part A, part B, no problem with that. Even though we're just going to mix up the whole batch, probably.
Yeah, that is a 1 pound kit, and the instructions say use all of it one go.
Oh, there's actually not much in there, so it is 1 pound, yeah.
So
And where did you buy this?
Off of suspension.com. I'll put the link
So they just
somewhere
they shipped
here.
it from
Yep,
from the US or from Canada?
from Texas.
From Texas, okay.
2 days.
Oh wow, okay.
They did not fuck about.
Alright. Cool.
$90. So that's why I would like to try this with someone who has some kind of experience, because if I fuck this up, that's $90 down the shitter, which I would rather not.
Preferably not.
Indeed.
There are better ways to spend $90.
And much worse.
Alright. So I've got a few things I want to check with you.
Yep.
We got some decision making to do.
Let's indeed.
I don't think we need that if we have the sand.
Well, the tutorial still recommended to use it,
Oh,
but even before that, you said something about sending them down with
Yes.
80 or 180 grit.
8.
Okay.
Because what happens is that this is rubber, and most things won't stick to rubber. So if you just want it to be a little bit better.
Not even that. I suspect there's a coat of paint on top of the rubber.
Right, exactly. So we're just going to sand that off, make sure we get it. Because there's chemical adhesion and there's mechanical adhesion. So if we can bring up the mechanical adhesion, it's just good practice. It's not going to take long to do. And then this one will go into here, boom.
I just learned a thing.
Aha!
Chemical and mechanical adhesion. I did not even know there was a difference.
Yeah, the molecular bonding between two. Yeah, and mechanical is if one side's rough and the other side you want it to stick into it. That's why we sand cars before we paint them. That's why.
So
prep the second one.
I will then seal on this one. Let's just put it over there while you prep this one. Because we've rewatched the video tutorial, and yeah, there's about a 10 to 15 minute window on the urethane, so we're gonna have those both leveled and ready to go for when we do actually mix and pour.
You see how this mount is a lot higher off the base than that one, so
yeah.
This one's going to be more tricky to put on our duct tape, so we have to seal it with contact cement. I'm going to do this. Cut this out to the best of my abilities.
Which is still far better than mine.
Like that. And I'm going to put this aside. Remove this.
Ah, I see. So now the hole in the tape will go around this, making it better. Ah, that's quite clever. I never would have thought of that. The other mount being much more simple in its design, probably because not required, though it wouldn't hurt, but I think more precautions might be required on this one.
Yeah, I'm worried that the contact cement will attack the
Urethane mix.
the duct tape.
Oh.
That's what this suggests. It's kind of moving around here. Makes things more difficult.
So I would say we've had a bit of a mix-up, but that hasn't happened yet. We're here now.
Time to start.
Yes. Now, truth be told, there is a few colors one can choose. Like, I could have gotten red or something like that. I was like, nah, low key is the key. Nah, I don't know. I just like my shit to be understated. So I chose dark gray.
You like your shit to be dark gray?
Yeah, okay, that sounded sus. I have no excuse here.
Alright, so this is nice and mixed.
So now would be the moment of truth. We start the pour.
We start the pour.
Will there be enough in there for this one?
You're the one who ordered.
That's the thing. I thought about doing this one, and then I thought about doing that one.
Now we're done.
This motherfucker going with me like that.
Yeah, you're the
Making me
perfect guy.
stress.
You're the perfect guy to stress
Oh,
out.
yeah. Oh,
Look at that.
that's gonna look pretty. This is gonna be the easier one to install, I think. This one is a bit of a finagle. It does look good though. It does not impact performance, but a nice stylish finish is always appreciated.
I like its self-leveling properties. It's the perfect texture.
It does look good though.
I like it a lot.
So now to let it.
You got anything else to mount up?
You? While we're there, like, Think of something. Think of something.
Well, I got mounts left and right, but well, I could.
What would it go on though?
This goes on a Sentry. Oh, it's already half torn. I'm not gonna do that. If it's torn.
Oh, that's why you took it out.
It's kinda hard. It's too bad.
Yeah. Looks tasty.
It's too bad I didn't have a mount ready to go.
Mm.
They called me a week ago.
This is kind of last minute. I figured, no.
Well, it's gonna go harder than it can, right?
Yeah.
So screw it.
Yeah, well, had I known that...
Let's see bad practice now. What we can get away with.
Sure, okay. Let's go.
Let's do that.
I'm down for that shit.
So this is all rusty. So let's just assume the dude jackass.
Why do I feel attacked by this?
Feel attacked.
That is a good question. Why do I?
It doesn't even stick. Now, if it doesn't stick at all, it's not going to work. So that's the importance of a brand new motor mount.
Shiny. Well, shinier than this, for sure.
We'll plug this in. Don't forget, we only have like 7 minutes left of working time.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have to be smart.
Well, I'm doomed. Ah. See, that's quite clever. Put an indentation in the cardboard to give you an indication of what to cut out.
Yes, sir.
That's what I like about this guy. He's incredibly resourceful. I remember you have a video where you fashion a sandblasting tool out of a compressor and a cut up
True, I forgot.
plastic bottle. That's a vague memory, but I remember not being able to, I couldn't help but wonder, what the hell is he going to make with this? And then you put it to work and I'm like, wow, that is resourceful, especially on the cheap. That is impressive.
On the cheap, yeah, exactly.
But it worked.
It worked.
So seal it with the hot glue. Okay.
We don't have any other choice, do we? Oh, what is happening now? Oh, I see.
Oh, you got a jam.
I've got a jam.
Tap right bang ain't gonna save this one.
There we go, another poly mount. And so you can use cardboard hot glue and kind of make it work, even though I didn't even seal underneath, but it's tight enough. It's seeping through a little bit. Oh no, not even. See, you don't need a level when you got
Rust.
a proper vise.
Oh no, hang on. That old nibble there is just a bit of extra rubber.
Yep.
That actually doesn't look too bad.
It's surprising.
Well, for 90 bucks Canadian, you get this.
You can do your whole vehicle basically.
Oh,
I mean,
probably.
If you have three mounts.
Well, I have 4, but again, by recommendations of other channels I've seen, like the front mount and the transmission mount are the ones that should be prioritized. I remember Sasha once saw this car a long time ago, thinking it was a C10 Skyline. the Hakosuka. And those are the keen eye for old Nissans, because it is an old Nissan, or Datsun. You may recognize that it's not a C10. It's a 510, the Datsun Bluebird. And I remember seeing this same car on the road, running and driving, years and years ago. Shit, 10, 15 more? And when Sasha told me about it, I was like, oh my god, bro, no, that is not a C10 Skyline. But here it is in Kurt's garage. I told him a lot of people would pay good money for it, but it's like, it is not for sale, and most people do not know that it's here. And he's debating between... He's got two L16. He's debating between putting the L-type back in or putting in something with a bit more guts. Well, it's now 2 days later. The mounts have been left to cure in Kurt's special little house oven. It's just an oven. But yeah, they're all nice and done, although the taped side is not as pretty, but it is functional. So just picked those baby up from Shifted Racing, and I'm now on my way to GoodEnough Motorsport HQ to install them, because I wanted to install them at the Shifted Racing HQ, but the man is a little bit busy with his own racing program, family and all that, so I'll leave him to it and I'll go do my own thing. So I've had a few minutes to further examine the urethane mix and these poly mounts, or, well, examine the results, if you will. And, well, as you can see, this still has some leftover contact cement, but, well, what can you do? It doesn't look the prettiest, but it will perform. Speaking of performance, when one thinks of poly bushing or polyurethane mix or any such kind of rigid mounting, one usually perceives polyurethane bushing as being very, very stiff, like nearly rock hard, like barely removed from a solid mount, which is not what I want. I still wanted some compliance in the mounts so that it doesn't feel like a race car. I still wanted daily the thing in the summer. And to the touch, you may not see, but I can certainly feel it. It has a fair bit of give. I don't think it'll move much, but yeah, this is still a bit squishy. Now, to be fair, I did pick the softest compound that the site had available, which is 68. Knowing nothing about that subject, I'm like, I want softest because it's also a summer daily, so let's go with that. But yeah, it's interesting how they still have a fair bit of give, but they're certainly stiffer than, you know, straight up rubber mounts. So before I throw them in, I want to do something. I'll take one of my GoPro and set it up so we can see the front engine mount. Start it up, give it some revs, see if we can see a difference. Maybe not, but maybe we can. So let's test that out. Right, so you can see right here the front motor mount. So let's try to start it up. The vehicle is now jacked. I shall then proceed to change out at least the front engine mount. Cue the time lapse. Right, all the bolts are out, save for one, because I'm choosing to take this out as one item, because this is easier to dismantle as one, and to throw back as one. So, let us see the damage. Ooh, that is quite torn. That is, ooh, yes. Oh yeah, that is fucked. That is properly fucked. That should not do that. I will now separate the bracket from the mount and show you the full extent of the damage. This I shall keep. Oh wow. Wow. Okay. 2 of them clean off. Like, no contest. Even the lower 2 are starting to tear up. Bet if I just yank on it real hard, it might go. It won't, but, well, this, I wouldn't call this good. This, however, this I would call good. Anything is an improvement over that, but this is a major leap forward. So let's snap it down, throw the bracket onto it. That's gonna be a nice fit. Yeah, this should go on without too much problem. I'm gonna snug it for now. Don't want it tight, because you're gonna go willow chains on that. Just like that for now. This will do. Now I'm gonna throw it back in the car. Fold this into the transmission, because ironically, though it's a motor mount, this bolts onto the bit of the transmission that is closer to the engine, but not to the block itself. I know how that works. And I have 2 new bolts, because the ones that I had put on the previous one, I just sent like full sand, like really throw them in, but not thinking much about it, and the threads were thoroughly fucked up. So, new mount, new bolts. What could go wrong? Don't answer that. Alright, so you can see the 2 holes down there are gonna line up with that. At least that's the theory. So, oh yeah, that's gonna require some adjusting. That will not do. That angle is no good. This is not easy to do one-handed, so I'll put on the time lapse once again and see you in a bit. start this up if I feel any difference. Alright, so this is the first start with only the front mount installed. Okay. It feels softer. Honestly, at idle, it felt harsher with the busted mount on than this one. This is a good sign. The road test will be quite enlightening, I'm sure. Alright then, with one mount already done, let's tackle the transmission mount. And this is fairly simple. Just gotta remove this cover, 2 bolts here, one back there, a big one here, and then should do. I just noticed this little sticker here. Got it warranty void if removed. I can just kind of imagine some guy like walking in at AutoZone or CarQuest or Netto, what have you, and just be like, "Hey man, like, do you do core returns on engine mounts?" I don't think they do. In all fairness, this one is still quite good. It's not torn, it's not busted or anything. It is still a very good transmission mount. So why did I not use that one? Well, I didn't want the car to be down for 2 extra days, whereas just getting a new one and pouring it in and just swapping it in right quick is going to be a bit more expensive, but it saves a bit of time. So this can be kept either as a spare, or it could help someone else. Gonna think about that. Alright, both mounts installed. Let's see how that feels, if she starts. What do you know? It's vibrating a little bit, but honestly, no worse than how it used to. Would I recommend? At least the front one. If you're gonna go for, you know, an aftermarket like a Westar unit or something like that, like, it will tear. Eventually, that's unavoidable. It's going to tear up. So in that case, the urethane mix is a wise investment, if you can call it that. 2 of them, again, it's no worse than a busted mount, but it is stiffer. It will drive better, I'm willing to bet. But yeah, I'll set up the GoPro here, clean my hands. Let's go for a test drive. I'm curious to see how that'll feel. Test driving with the urethane infused stock motor mounts. Alright. So far, not much difference. So, is this an upgrade I would recommend doing? Absolutely! If you have an A92, you're struggling, do I go urethane mix or slap on the matte pulley mounts? I think a matte pulley mount might be too stiff, but hell, get you one of these, one of those, like, go on Rock Auto, get brand new, like, aftermarket mounts, order the urethane mix, the link will be down below. Order from there. It's absolutely worth it. Now I went with the softest compound they have, like I said before. You could probably get away with a stiffer compound, but I still want a daily disc, and honestly, this is awesome. I do feel that it shifts a bit smoother, like noticeably smoother. It doesn't rattle my non-existent teeth out. And honestly, bang for buck, this is a very good upgrade. It's a bit more involved, it's a bit more work, but it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So that's not a very big episode, but progress is better than no progress. So that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade worth doing, absolutely. And that's a wrap on this episode of GoodEnough Motorsport. See you next time.